You're watching NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey. A sampling of what's coming up on today's show. Is Derek Carr now done as a member of the Raiders? Could Terrell Owens return? Yeah, we'll break that down. Some Sean Payton and Tom Brady rumors to the Saints, and a lot of quarterback news, injury, trade rumor stuff. But we begin with the number one story of the day. The Raiders have benched Derek Carr. He will not be active, barring, I guess, injury, for the final 2 games of the season. Jarrett Stidham is going to sub in for Derek Carr under center. And the move is not because the Raiders, who are still technically alive in the playoff race, think that Jarrett Stidham actually gives them a better chance of winning football games. This move keeps Derek Carr healthy so he can be cut or traded this offseason, which we will get to that more in depth here in a little bit. But unfortunately, there's been some regression in the play of Derek Carr, particularly this season. Look, I think he gets a lot of credit, rightfully so, for guiding the Raiders through what was a hellish season to make the postseason last year. They bring back Derek Carr. They give him a unique contract. More on that in a little bit. And I think there's plenty of blame for Josh McDaniels, don't get me wrong. But the Raiders have an out in Carr's contract after the season. Carr bet on himself, and looks like that bet was lost as the Raiders appear primed now to move on from Carr after this season ends. Details not in a moment. In the meantime, who remembers the Jarrett Stidham hype? I do. I remember people have going, he could be the Patriots quarterback of the future, which, of course, he is not. And Stidham is a guy that knows the offense from his time in New England alongside Josh McDaniels, their head coach. Stidham was traded for a late draft pick. He has barely played in his time in the NFL. We're talking career stats, 32 of 61 for 342 yards, 2 scores, 4 INTs. He was better this year in the preseason, but I don't think even the most diehard Stidham truthers genuinely think he's going to be the franchise guy for the Raiders. This is just, we're kind of not worried about this official season at this point. Now, what is worth keeping an eye out for is where Derek Carr could go next. Someone in our live chat mentioned the Bucs if they lose Tom Brady. It's a great potential fit as well that I should have included on this list, so I'll mention it now. Other teams, Jets are probably going to move on from Zach Wilson. The Commanders are snip-snapping Carson Wentz as their starter. The Colts have played that game forever. Carolina might not be in quarterback range, and do you really believe in Sam Darnold compared to Derek Carr? The Saints and Texans and Giants and Tennessee and all these teams have quarterbacks they could move on from and or guys that I don't think are better than Derek Carr. Like, if you're the Giants, wouldn't you just bring in Derek Carr for 2 years and move on from Daniel Jones? Probably would cost not that dissimilar of an amount if it's a cut. Now, you could also see Derek Carr get traded, maybe for something similar to the Carson Wentz package originally when he went to the Colts. Derek Carr's cap hit this upcoming season is $34.88 million. The Raiders saved $29.25 of that if they cut or trade him before February 15th. On February 15th, his base salary, just under $33 million, becomes fully guaranteed. It's currently guaranteed for injury, hence the benching. The new team would owe Derek Carr if they trade for him $33 million. It's the base salary plus a workout bonus of $100,000 and $7.5 million guaranteed in 2024. Not that bad if you believe in Derek Carr as a top 15-ish quarterback as your starter next year. You know, for a team like the Jets or Commanders, that might be worth it for them, given what they've had at quarterback in recent months or years even. So where will Derek Carr play in 2023? It's the pinned comment on today's video. If the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it and make those predictions for me right now. Here's a story for you. Terrell Owens, as he's done every single year, wants to play. T.O. will make this claim at least once a year. It's actually not the first time this year he's made it. He also said that he talked to the Niners about playing and that their ownership, and that didn't go anywhere from a national attention standpoint. So now his agent's like, we've been talking to the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys took the call, but were like, yeah, dude, you're 49. You haven't played football in 10 years. Sorry, it's just not going to work out. Look, T.O.'s in ungodly shape for a 49-year-old, but 49-year-olds don't play football, especially when they haven't played real football. I'm sorry, fan-controlled football does not count in over a decade. That just isn't how it work. So he wants to play. I would like a wide variety of things as well, like $1 million guaranteed, but that's just not going to happen. Today's NFL news and rumors are brought to you by Fetch. It's a super easy to use and free app that lets you earn rewards on literally anything that you buy. Get any physical receipt or e-receipt, scan it, or just tie your email to it, and you'll earn points or purchases. Those points can then be redeemed for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, any of the hundreds of retailers and restaurants that are available. You don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it. Let me show you how simple it is with this handy-dandy little video. Open the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, and snap a photo of your receipt. Hit submit, and you'll see that confetti pop, showing that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. Also have the e-receipt function to get rewarded for your Amazon buys or other online shopping you do simply by syncing your email account. Fetch is available on iPhone and on the Android stores. Use our link, chatsports.com/Fetch, to go right into your respective store. Enter promo code CHAT at sign up for 5,000 bonus points when you scan your first receipt. That is the equivalent of a free $5 gift card to get started. It's a free app, and the 5,000 bonus points is only for a limited time. So get started right now. Chatsports.com/Fetch. Enter promo code CHAT. The link to both the promo code and the description, or link for the promo code, and the URL is in the comment section and the description of today's video. Sean Payton is suddenly drawing interest from everybody, but the new buzz from Mike Florio is that the Saints could bring back Sean Payton as head coach and bring Tom Brady with him. The theory is that everyone wants Sean Payton. The jobs open are not very good. Sean Payton wants to get back in coaching ASAP. He wants to return. If the jobs aren't great, why not go back to New Orleans and bring in Tom Brady? The job's open right now. I really don't think are that appealing to Sean Payton. Carolina, I don't know if the Saints would ever trade him to a division rival. That'd be a lot to ask for, and they do own his contract still. But they're not in great shape long term, as impressive as Steve Wilks has done so far. Indianapolis is kind of not in a great spot either. Denver looked like they were, but Russell Wilson looks broken. Do you want to go try to salvage Russell Wilson? I certainly don't think so. The other three jobs that I think could make sense for Sean Payton. Arizona, I would not be surprised if they fired or agreed to move on or whatever from Cliff Kingsbury. But is Kyler Murray's health a concern long-term after the ACL? Probably at least for this upcoming year. Is that a great job, honestly? They got some bad contracts. The Chargers would be a great fit for Sean Payton, but they're a playoff team. Is that job going to be open? Dallas might be if McCarthy goes one and done in the postseason again this year, but there's no guarantee of that either. They could easily beat the Bucs and Brady, who is a free agent this offseason. And make no mistake for Brady, he will want to go somewhere where he can win. And remember, back when Brady first became a free agent, Brady and Payton reportedly had interest the last time Brady was available, and Drew Brees ended up coming back, so he said, okay, we'll ride with Brees. Sorry, it's not going to work. Brady goes to Tampa, and bada bing, bada boom, good things happen. But there is this point, too. This isn't the normal Brady we've seen. This looks a little bit more like 2019 Brady, who wasn't as good. He's still a top whatever number you want to assign him quarterback, and it's still Brady, and you still figure there's a very real chance he makes a nice playoff push this year, but he hasn't been the same. O-line's not been great. The issues up front have been a real problem. Maybe those get fixed in New Orleans. Maybe not. So will Sean Payton and Tom Brady join forces next year, be it in New Orleans or potentially somebody else? Y for yes, N for no. Get those predictions in for me in the comments section. Let's hit a wide array of even more quarterback news here. Return of Wentz. Yeah, the Commanders making the move. Carson Wentz is back as the starting quarterback for the Commanders. They are benching Taylor Heineke. Here are their numbers this year. They're not very different. Now, the last couple weeks have been a little rough for Taylor Heineke. The Commanders are fighting for their playoff lives. I think they're trying to find another spot in terms of or spark, I should say. I don't think Wentz is much of an upgrade. I don't know if he's much of a downgrade either. You're trying to mix something up. In the end, I don't think either of these guys, and this has been my mindset for a long time, I know many of you agree, neither of these guys are the answer at quarterback for Washington. But with 2 games left, and with the Commanders fighting for their playoff lives, who should they start? TH for Taylor Heineke, CW for Carson Wentz. Let me know in the comment section. Now, we have plenty of NFL news and rumors for you guys here. Can we get 25 new subs today alone? I think we can. Bosses aren't so sure. Let's prove them wrong. Hit that sub button for free NFL videos every single day, especially with the offseason just around the corner. Let's move to Zach Wilson. Speaking of troubled quarterbacks, Wilson is back on the bench. Mike White is healthy. The Jets are going to start White, and I think there's a very, very real chance Zach Wilson, the former number 2 overall pick, is already done in New York. And lack of confidence, I think, from Wilson internally and the Jets' entire organization in Wilson is a real problem. Now, they could trade him. They lose about $2 million in cap space if they trade him on top of their already cap charge, but that's not that bad to just move on from a guy who's a sunk cost, if that's the route you feel. They could save $4 million if it's after June 1st, but no one's going to do that. New team would owe him under $4 million this upcoming year, 5.5 the year after that. And it is the former number 2 overall pick, and we know this, whether they are deserving of it or not. Early round picks, early draft picks, get more chances than non-early round picks because of the perceived talent. And I use the word perceived because we've seen early round picks just not pan out, but they keep getting chances because of the preconceived notions, the biases of, quote, he was a top 5 pick for a reason, right? Like that type of argument is why those quarterbacks or players in general get chance after chance after chance. I do think a team would be willing to trade for Zach Wilson. I don't think for that much, however. Not with what we've seen where he's still a project for you. And that's scary to trade for a project quarterback. It'd have to be the right destination. So let me know, what draft pick do you think Zach Wilson is worth? Time now for some Tua conversation. Unfortunately for the Dolphins franchise QB, he is once again in the concussion protocol. It's the second time he's been in the protocol. The second confirmed concussion, but I think we can call it 3 concussions because, we all saw him get up and get all woozy and then have a really bad one after that. That's concerning for Tua long term. Short term, it's, okay, Dolphins fighting for your playoff lives. How can you win with likely Teddy Bridgewater against the Patriots and Jets to wrap the season? Now, maybe Tua comes back after that. It's unfortunate for Tua, who's had by far his best season as a member of the Miami Dolphins. He and Mike McDaniel have maximized things a little bit better than Tua and the Brian Flores-led regimes ever did. Tua has talent, but the health, both concussion, the hip was an issue for a while, that's got to be cleared out. So I hope Tua's okay from a pure just physical health standpoint. I'm not going to be calling for retirement. Like, that's a decision for Tua and his doctors to make, not for us media talking heads. But a potential third concussion in like 3 or 4 months, oof, that's concerning as far as I'm concerned.